Colorado State Patrol is warning people to expect the unexpected on our roadways to avoid deadly crashes caused by drivers going the wrong way. So far this year, there have been 58 collisions involving wrong-way drivers. In 2024, there were 116 crashes, which CSP says was a substantial 20% spike from just the year before. CSP says drivers can end up going the wrong way for a couple of reasons. They could be under the influence, but they also may be confused by GPS directions or unfamiliar with the area they're in. So it's important to know what to do if you accidentally end up going the wrong way, even if you don't think it could happen to you.
Nobody's perfect, right? But we can try to avoid a catastrophe or a crash by pulling over to the right side of the roadway when safely to do so, put on your hazards, and turn around into the right direction when you can.
CSP says if you're on the highway, you can call 911 for help getting turned around. And if you end up seeing a driver going the wrong way, you should try to pull over without braking too hard or swerving.
Right now, we're working to learn more from police about reports of a late-night shooting at Anschutz Medical Campus. Aurora police say a little after 10 last night, they responded to a report about a shooting in a garage. This was near Children's Way and Colfax. We have learned a suspect is in custody after a quick chase. No officers or community members were hurt.
New this morning, a former school psychologist accused of sexually assaulting a child pleaded not guilty in court this week. This is according to our partners at the Denver Gazette. Police arrested 38-year-old James Chevrier back in May after someone reported him through Safe to Tell. Officials say he assaulted a student at Green Mountain High School. He also worked at Bear Creek, Evergreen High, and in the Cherry Creek District. He's now facing charges for child prostitution, drug possession, and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Chevrier is in custody on a $250,000 cash bond. His trial is set for January.
One of the men accused of shooting at former Broncos wide receiver Josh Reynolds pleaded guilty. According to the Denver District Attorney's Office, Burr Charlesworth is one of 9 people charged in connection to the shooting. He pleaded guilty to 1 count of conspiracy to commit first-degree assault. It happened last October after Reynolds left a strip club. Police say several men followed him and shot into his car along I-25. Charlesworth is expected to be sentenced in September.
After a state lawmaker was accused of having a master key to open every office at the Capitol, top House leaders changed their locks quietly, even though an investigation found no evidence the lawmaker had one. Republican Representative Ron Weinberg was accused of holding a key that could unlock every door. He denied it, and in a letter to House Republican leader Rose Puglisi, Democratic Speaker Julie McCluskey wrote there was no evidence to refute Weinberg's account. Yet the next day, the two of them were among 8 whose offices were rekeyed. They haven't said why, and they didn't tell other lawmakers. Representative Matt Soper says that's not right, and if some locks were changed, all of them should have been. Weinberg hasn't returned our calls. He's also facing separate allegations of inappropriate behavior before taking office, which he has denied.
A federal judge is siding with Colorado, upholding state and local laws that limit how close protesters can get to abortion clinics. An anti-abortion activist from Denver who calls herself a sidewalk counselor is challenging the state's buffer zone rule. It requires protesters to stay at least 8 feet back from clinic entrances, limiting how and where she can speak to patients or hand out pamphlets. But she is losing so far. That's because the U.S. Supreme Court already upheld buffer zone laws in a 2000 ruling. This week, the judge in Colorado said that it's up to the High Court to reverse that precedent if they choose to do so. Anti-abortion advocates say that it may happen. The court now has a conservative majority, and Justice Clarence Thomas has already said that he wants to revisit the issue.
Today, airline safety is taking center stage in our nation's capital. It's day 3 of a probe into the deadly mid-air collision between an Army Black Hawk helicopter and American Airlines jet. There, the National Transportation Safety Bureau has been questioning witnesses about what led up to the crash. The NTSB chair appeared frustrated with some of the answers. Among the revelations in this week's hearing, Army helicopters routinely flew below aircraft that were coming in for landing at Reagan National Airport.
Why did it take 67 lives to be lost and families who are just destroyed forever to understand what was occurring?
We're still several months away from an official determination of what caused the crash. The White House rolled out new trade policies hours before today's deadline, along with a sweeping update to tariffs. Most countries will now face a 10% tariff on goods shipped to the U.S., but only if we export more to them than we import. For countries where the U.S. runs a trade deficit, that number jumps to 15%. And more than a dozen nations will pay even higher rates. The new tariffs kick in August 7th, giving customs time to make the switch.
Meanwhile, President Trump's increased tariffs on Canada take effect, jumping from 25 to 35%. The White House says he signed an executive order blaming Canada's inaction and retaliation on efforts to stop fentanyl coming into the states. Goods that comply with the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement will not face the higher tariff. Canada remains the top buyer of U.S. exports and the third largest source of foreign goods into the country. The countdown to the new school year is on, but for many families, stocking up on school supplies can be a real financial challenge.
Boy, is that true. It is so expensive this year. So this weekend, a local nonprofit is stepping in to help. 9 News reporter Courtney Yoon joins us live from Paco Sanchez Park in Denver. Courtney, they're making sure students are set for success with special backpack giveaway.
Hey, good morning, Erica and Corey. That's right. If you want to join in on getting some of those school supplies tomorrow, it's all happening here at Paco Sanchez Park from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. Families and students can get food boxes, backpacks filled with school supplies, and even a new pair of shoes. The Denver Dream Center has been hosting this event for the last 10 years. It's a way to support families and help students have a successful start to the school year. The center will give away 600 pairs of shoes and more than 1,000 backpacks. If you can't make it on Saturday, you can still go online to the Denver Dream Center's website. They have a portal where you can ask for help or even find after-school programming like tutoring and mentoring. CEO of the Denver Dream Center, Pastor B, says this event Saturday is meant to help give kids confidence as they head into their new classrooms.
And it's rough to go into a school and you don't have a backpack or the right supplies or your shoes. We have actually barbers coming out, so there'll be free haircuts. So really it's a full package. We want kids to look good, feel good, and the community to do good together.
Again, if you want to get in on that school supply giveaway, that's happening here tomorrow at 11 a.m. at Paco Sanchez Park. If you're an Aurora Public Schools student, there's a school supply giveaway opportunity tomorrow as well. For families within the district, they'll give away backpacks and school supplies at the Town Center at Aurora from 10 a.m. until 12:30 tomorrow. Both events tomorrow will have planned activities and entertainment to kick off the school year. Live in Denver, Courtney Yoon, 9 News.
Yeah, this is great for so many families. Courtney, thank you.